We have found economic freedom in Africa, and for many people, that sounds like a distant dream. That sounds like it's too good to be true. But the reason we have found economic freedom on this continent that has 54 countries is because we have lived in two of the countries out of the top 10 African countries for economic freedom in 2025. You want to hit the like button, you want to share, you want to subscribe, because this video is going to give you the details on the only 10 countries that you should be interested in living and investing in 2025 and beyond in Africa. Let's get into it. Number one, the first country that got the number one place on this list is Mauritius, Africa. That is where my family and I live. This is where we have our premium digital nomad visa. This is where we have been expanding our enterprise internationally. Mauritius, Africa. And when we talk about economic freedom, we want to talk about you're not going to have a lot of tax issues. You're not going to have a lot of compliance issues. Mauritius in particular is one of the countries that is on the least corrupt African countries index. It has one of the strongest passports in Africa. And so when we talk about economic freedom, this is what we're talking about. Easy access to get bank accounts, easy access to get in the country and do business, easy access to even do international business without having like those random police officers stopping you saying, hey, you got to pay me $25 today because I want some extra chicken, aka bribery, right? You don't have these problems in Mauritius, and that's why it's probably number one on the list. Besides the fact that they have a booming real estate industry, a booming finance, and a booming healthcare industry. And these are excellent aspects for us, especially as entrepreneurs who serve both finance and real estate companies in our marketing firm. For number two, can you guess number two? I want you to drop in the comment. I'm going to give you a second to guess. Drop a comment down below. Let me know which country you think is in the second place for the top 10 African countries with the highest economic freedom. Number two is Botswana. Okay, Botswana is like a desert nation. It's landlocked in Africa. It's right above South Africa. Also, we're seeing a theme here. The least corrupt African countries list. Botswana is known for its diamonds, its wonderful infrastructure, its excellent international and local policies. And by the way, did you know, I saw this from Wodamaya's video, by the way, on Botswana. Did you know Botswana gives free education to its citizens? Yes, the youth, 18 to 25 years old, they get free university education. They're definitely on the right path. And they have, this is why they're number two on the list in economic freedom. That means it's fairly easy to do business there. It's fairly easy to not deal with corruption. It's easy to invest in your permits. It's easy to get your permits if you have the right capital, right? Botswana is definitely one to look at, especially if you are like 45 and up and you have capital readily accessible. You want to check out this country. We already know of a few people who moved there and live there and absolutely love Botswana. Okay, now let's go to number three. Can you guess number three? Number three is, drum roll please, Cape Verde. Yes, Cabo Verde. This island nation is on the coast of West Africa. So we were just in Southern Africa with Mauritius and Botswana. But now let's go hop on over and zoom in our little virtual flight over to West Africa, the island nation of Cape Verde. Now, what I love about Cape Verde in particular, similar to Mauritius at number one, they have a digital nomad visa. I started looking at videos on Cape Verde from like some of the YouTubers, super famous YouTubers that travel around and show you Cape Verde. It looks so beautiful. The colors, the scenery, they are also on the least corrupt African country list. You can get that digital nomad visa. And then for you guys that are in America, they are much closer to you than you traveling to South Africa or East Africa. So Cape Verde is a high one on the list that you can potentially go to, do business in. You don't have to worry about a lot of bureaucracy, bribery, all of those foolish things. You can come in and enjoy your lifestyle, okay? Number four is Seychelles. Okay, Seychelles is an island nation off the coast of East Africa, more towards like Kenya and Ethiopia. Mauritius is more towards Southern Africa off the coast of Madagascar, okay? But nonetheless, they're both island nations. Again, we're seeing some patterns. Seychelles, least corrupt African countries list in Africa. Look, we need to look at these patterns. This is very important. And then Seychelles also has a digital nomad visa. Seychelles is known for their international finance industry, meaning their country relies on finance infrastructure. So they're not going to be as willing to do bribes. They're not going to be as willing to have these corruption issues that a lot of African countries has. Seychelles, since they're an island nation like Mauritius, like Cabo Verde, Cape Verde, they're not really willing to risk a lot of that stuff and have their entrepreneurs and international investors stressed out. So for them, it's very important to be on the Economic Freedom Index on the top 10 countries in Africa. Now let's go to number 5. São Tomé and Príncipe. Again, shout out to Business Insider Africa for this top 10 list. I'm going to leave their article down below. But number 5, São Tomé and Príncipe, off the coast again of West Africa. It's a compilation of island nations not far from Cape Verde. I don't know too much about their digital nomad processes and their visas, but by the looks that they made it to this list, it may be worth you looking into it to see like what kind of entrepreneur investment visas they have, if they have anything that can function as a digital nomad visa, or how exactly you're going to be able to get into, say, São Tomé and Príncipe, okay? I also want to point out on the list, the top 4 countries are visa-free for Americans. I just want to point that out as well. I think that also has a lot to do if we're looking at patterns. Those top 4 countries, you can come to those countries visa-free and start to implement your business practices before switching over to an investor or a digital nomad permit, okay? Now let's go to number 6. Number 6 is Morocco. Morocco is such an attractive international investment hub. It's located in North Africa. They have vivid scenery, wonderful spices, wonderful like fashion and the markets, the street markets. Like Morocco, from what I'm seeing online and what I'm hearing, Morocco is a vibe, and they're also excellent when it comes down to business practices. This is why international firms from across the globe will come to Morocco to invest in their infrastructure, in their businesses. And by the way, I just saw a video on Instagram that they have this new train that goes through Morocco in the desert and like stretches out through multiple countries in North Africa. Morocco seems like a vibe. If anybody has been to Morocco, leave a comment down below to let the community know what your experience was like. Number 7 is a country that is near and dear to my heart. I used to live in this country with my family. Number 7 is Tanzania, formerly Tanganyika. Tanzania has pretty simple business processes, as well as a pretty simple visa process for their multiple entry visa compared to like some countries in West Africa, compared to some countries in Southern and East Africa. Tanzania actually has a pretty open economic index where they let women get into business. Obviously, they have a woman president. They let a lot of things happen to where you can go to Zanzibar, you can go all over Tanzania and see if you would like to invest. And if you have the capital and if you're willing to overcome some of the bureaucracy, you will probably fare pretty well in Tanzania. It should also be noted, Arusha, Tanzania is a hub for like these safari hospitality like businesses. And Arusha is also the headquarters of the East African community, meaning the countries like Congo, Kenya, Rwanda, all of those countries will meet in Arusha when they want to communicate intercontinentally about the East African community and anything they can do to build business, okay? I definitely see Tanzania coming on the ups and ups as they get better with their bureaucracy and get better with doing international business. So shout out to Tanzania. Number 8 is Namibia. Namibia has also just received their first female president, okay? They also said they are going to be doing like Botswana, who is number 2 on this list, giving free education to university students. They are taking that leadership from Botswana and saying, look, Botswana, we see y'all number 2 on the list. We see your economy is killing it. So we want to follow after you and give free university to the students. Education is a key part of business and entrepreneurship. By the way, hold up. Speaking of education, if you have not heard of Black Educators Amplified, I literally don't know what you're doing. It's our 8-week accelerator where we teach new entrepreneurs under 5 years in business, under 100,000 in revenue, how to structure their website copy, how to write like an expert strategic marketing consultant so that they can book clients. You should check out the Black Educators Amplified playlist at the link in the description. But listen, registration is closed. You're a little bit late, but we may have something for you in the next few weeks if you just want to get your feet wet a little bit. So subscribe and go watch that playlist after this video. Now, back to Namibia. Namibia is a gorgeous landlocked nation in Southern Africa. They have desert. They somehow, actually, my bad, y'all. Namibia is not landlocked. You know, that geography just popped up in my head. The map of Africa, Southern Africa, Namibia is not landlocked, okay? Namibia is on like the western cape of Southern Africa, and they have the ocean and the desert together that meet and touch each other. They are phenomenal as it relates to like tourism. They are huge on that. You know, they were colonized by Germany, but let me just say, Namibia has really outdone themselves from these videos and this content that I see of Namibia. And we have another pattern, y'all. Y'all ready for this pattern? Namibia has a 6-month digital nomad visa. I think what a lot of African economies may not understand right now is the power of a digital nomad visa. It's basically, especially when it comes to business and marketing, we have something in marketing where like you'll introduce a lower level offer before getting the higher level offer. So these countries that implement a digital nomad visa allow you to get this lower level free digital nomad visa for multiple years, hoping that you are going to choose to invest in their economy and live in their country, promote their economy, do business there, and accelerate your success and your growth. Because as an international investor, your success is these African countries' success as well. So you can contribute jobs to the economy, you can contribute education, you can contribute your intellectual property to these economies. Remember, education is the key out of poverty. And so anytime you can come in as an education consultant and start to consult with these African companies or consult companies globally and then teach the African youth how they can start their own consulting businesses, it's a win-win situation for you and the country that you live in. Now let's go to the next one. We have 9 and 10 left. Benin and Cote d'Ivory, okay? Benin is like, I feel like Benin's like a quiet West African country that is heavily slept on from what I'm seeing of Benin. I'm seeing gorgeous views of Benin. I'm hearing Benin wants to give citizenship to African Americans. I hear Benin is so clean, okay? And so I'm hearing good things about Benin. And the fact that they also made it on this list, Benin is also on the least corrupt African countries list, is like, it's worth checking out. It's maybe worth you, if, especially if you're in like Ghana or Senegal, you could probably hop over to Benin real quick and just investigate, see what's available to you, okay? And Cote d'Ivory, the Ivory Coast, oh my goodness. This place, it looks like a mini Dubai of Africa. Again, very silent, very quiet. They speak French there. We speak French in Mauritius as well. But the Ivory Coast, which used to be the Gold Coast in combination with Ghana, was one of the most powerful kingdoms in West Africa that had all of that gold. It's no wonder that they are also making it to the top 10 index of the top 10 African countries with the most economic freedom. Remember, when we say freedom, we're talking you're not going to have to deal with a lot of tax. You're not going to have to deal with a lot of bribery and bureaucracy the way you would in other African countries. That means women and men have almost equal access to making money. It's fairly simple for students like the youth 18 to 26 to get into university or just straight out of high school or form, whatever they call it in some of these countries. I'm sorry, y'all could leave a comment and correct me down below. But it's going to be fairly easy for them to get in and be entrepreneurs. A lot of these countries, another pattern that I see with these is that they are very clean countries as well. These countries are so clean, so tidy, and y'all, it's just a good time to be alive. It's a good time to be in Africa. But I want to know, from this list, what are your top 2 countries that you would travel to or do business in? You already know mine. Obviously, mine's Mauritius. If I had to choose a number 2 from this list, it would probably be Namibia, because I'm very curious about the views in Namibia. I love nature. I love travel. I love that experience. So it would probably be Namibia. Namibia is a close number 2. But let me know your thoughts. Shalom, shalom. I'll see you in the next video.